period 2017 to 22, so over a period of about 5 years, UNDP has benefited from a financial allocation from the government of Germany to finance a project on social cohesion in the region of Tabou. Part of the project was looking at how to reinforce social cohesion, national reconciliation and peace, and the other side of the other aspect, the other dimension of that project was to look at how those that are returning, those that have fled the crisis several years ago and are now returning, how can the project support their inclusion, their reintegration in the local communities? Germany, of course, is one of the major partners of UNDP, along with Japan and the EU and so on and so forth. So we are very pleased to have been able to benefit from this funding of over $3.1 million, with a contribution of about $500,000 from UNDP. So over the past 5 years, the project has worked in 4 different localities. The first one is to focus on local peace committees by young people and local communities to see how they can manage to address the prevention agenda and the prevention of conflict in their own communities. So one of the visits that we did this morning was to actually exchange with the local peace communities and for them to share with us some of the challenges that they have faced and how they have resolved those difficulties. And what we heard was that one of the first factors, one of the first determinants of conflicts in the region is around land. The second one had to do with gender-based violence, and of course the third one, a lot of it was around political conflicts. So we were very pleased to hear that when it comes to land conflicts, out of 6 conflicts that the community has faced, the local peace committee has been able to resolve 4 of those, and the other 2 are now being handled. On gender-based violence, we were very satisfied to hear the committee mention that they have been promoting a policy of zero tolerance concerning rape, and that victims of violence or survivors of violence are given assistance, psychosocial, legal, to be able to deal with those cases and resolve this. And we heard that the number of gender-based violence cases has been reduced in the area, so we were pleased with that as well. On the promotion of human rights, we heard that there's a lot of young people, and despite the training and the sensitization that is ongoing, I think much more needs to be done to find employment for these young people and to keep them occupied, give them hope for the future so that they can move away from a life of violence and find a life of dignity. The second visit that we did today was a community that is working on what I would call integrated and holistic development. The first aspect of that support was that we were supporting the community to manage the environment by picking up the environmental pollution, by picking up plastic pollution, and we were very pleased to see that they have been able to transform those plastic waste into pavements. And when I was here last year and I saw what they were doing, they had asked us for additional equipment to be able to increase the production. We were very pleased this morning to see that they've really scaled up the number of bricks that they are able to do, the number of pavements that they're able to produce. And in doing so, we were pleased to see that by involving women in the group, because it's a collective of 15 with about 6 women and 9 men. So we were very pleased to see that the women are involved and that we were able to see that a number of different communities are involved, a number of young people are involved. So it's helpful for us to see that the seed funding that we have given has actually push them to look at how to make their own production sustainable. We were also very satisfied to hear that when the equipment broke down last year, they didn't wait for UNDP to come and fix it, they fixed it themselves. So I think in terms of sustainability, there is hope that the community will pick this up themselves and see with additional support that we might be able to give them how they can move this forward. And we think that under the small grants program mechanism, we might be able to support them to become a training center, because that's one of their aspirations. They've been able to do this, now they want to train others to be able to do the same thing, so we might be able to give them a bit of support on that. The third visit that we did was to look at women empowerment and economic empowerment of women in one community, and they are transforming cassava into acheke and commercializing it. We were very impressed to hear how by increasing the equipment, the production has increased, you know, and so now we find that through this, and because the men now understand what the women are doing, there's less conflicts in the home, there's less conflicts in the community, and women are happy that they have markets. So they were asking for additional support to scale up even further. We shall see. We believe that the way they are dealing with the challenges seem to demonstrate that they are well able and they are capable to take this forward by themselves. So we shall see. And the last visit that we did is to the school. This is a particular site that is close to my heart because last year when we came, we heard about large classes. They have 85 pupils in a classroom. It's impossible for a child to learn when there's so many of them in one room. And we heard today that through additional classrooms that have been built and rehabilitated, they've been able to reduce the numbers of students in one class from about 80 to 45, 50, which is a great progress, but it's still too much. So we need to see what more can be done. Further to that, last year when we were here, they were asking for a space where the community could meet and have social dialogue, where they could, you know, discuss among each other. And one of the things that we've done is to provide them with this structure that they are now very, very pleased to have, and we are very pleased to have contributed to this. And this is part of the instruments to enhance social cohesion, peaceful coexistence, and national reconciliation. In terms of next steps, I was mentioning that I was very encouraged by some of the lessons that are coming out of those different initiatives. From here, and part of what we've been able to do with young people, we're going to draw the lessons, and as we kick off on the prevention agenda and youth employability in the northern part of Côte d'Ivoire, we will draw some of the lessons and try to replicate them in the north. The other lessons that we've learned is that the transformation of plastic waste into pavements is of great interest to the commune of Grand Bassam. So we will try now to put that community in touch with women's groups in Grand Bassam to see whether they can transfer their know-how, train them, and then if they can come together and increase production, they can actually raise the price of their commodities and corner the market. And for us, this will be a great lesson. It's a great success if they are able to do this.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Good.